Mr. Tata, thank you for joining us on what is the day after your last AGM as chairman of Tata Motors. So, just wanted your thoughts. I mean, winding down as the chairman after 20 years at the helm of a company you've taken from a truck manufacturer to really a global powerhouse. Just wanted to get your thoughts.
I've been in this position. I'm looking forward to having more time on my hands. At the same time, I'm hoping that I can remain connected in areas of the group's activities that I enjoy, in addition to taking on the added responsibility in the trust that I've talked about. So I don't feel different. I don't feel that there's any turning point. I don't know how I'll feel post-December, but that's the way I feel today.
Right. And obviously, cars have been a strong passion with you. I'm sure if there is a need to be involved in the areas you are quite keen on and you've not been able to devote too much time to, let's say like product design and strategy, would you look at those activities?
I think if that's what the company wanted, I would be very happy to do whatever I could to add value. But it would have to be something that the company desired rather than my seeking it.
Right. And these could be typically in areas of product design where you've had a strong kind of influence and passion for it.
Yeah. And strategy. I have always been interested in strategy. I've tried to bring that to the group, maybe not as successfully as it should have been, but certainly it's been more than it was 20 years ago.
Right, and your baby, the Nano, I think maybe it was.
The Nano is something that I would love to have a challenge of making successful, because I don't think its full potential has been exploited so far. I think not only in India but elsewhere.
So what you're saying is even after December, this is one product you'd really like to try and get its full potential realized. Yeah.
I would love to be involved rather than thinking that this is the level at which it will continue to be. I think as time goes on, that task will become more difficult. So I feel that there needs to be another push to make Nano what I think it can be.
Right. And Mr. Tata, over your career at the head of this company, what are the highs and what are the lows, just very briefly?
Well, I think in developing an indigenous car, that was the Indica, it was a high to me, because it was the fulfillment of something that I thought could be done and everyone said couldn't be. The other would be the Nano itself, which it evoked much more international attention than I had ever estimated. That was not what we did it for. But the fact that we did achieve what we set out to do, to design and build an affordable family car for the people, I think is an achievement that I was very proud of. I may have driven it, but I think the team should be proud of what they did.
And any other high points? Jaguar, Land Rover, I think that must
Jaguar
be.
Land Rover, I think again was an achievement. I'm very proud of what JLR has been able to do in the marketplace, and that we have succeeded in dispelling the apprehensions people had of our Indianizing the company. The goal that I set, which I hope we can achieve, would be to restore these two brands to their original glory as English companies.
Right. And the low points, Mr. Tata, I mean, sure, there must be a lot of disappointments along the way.
Yeah, I think maybe Singur and its problems, having to move a plant and lose that time. Very importantly, and then issues on Nano also relate to the fact that it was delayed by a year as a result of the Singur issue. And that would constitute a low point.
Right. And I think even on Singur, the sense one got is that it was just a political thing.
Yeah,
rather than...
I feel so, unfortunately, because I think we would never have participated in something that was inherently unfair or unjust. So I think that was drummed into a political issue. And anyway, that's water over the dam, in a
Right.
manner of speaking.
Right. And Mr. Tata, on Tata Motors itself, not been a great year. You've had some of your rivals like Mahindra even overtake you all. So to get it back to, let's say, I wouldn't say former glory, but really back into a position of strength, what needs to be done, and what do you
Well,
think?
first of all, I think, and I've always said publicly, that one year or one set of events doesn't do much in the history of the company. It's one day in the life of the company. What's important is how you deal with that. Do you take wake-up calls that you get, or do you remain and let the wind blow you whichever way you want? And I think the time has come for Tata Motors to realize that they have to reinstill their instinct to and spirit to be a leader. And this has happened before. We have lost positions in things, and we regained that leadership position. And I think the company has people that have the spirit. They just have to be motivated to rekindle that sense of.
And coming to Jaguar Land Rover specifically in India, obviously a lot happening, and there are talks to kind of even do certain local assembly of products over here. So
Yeah, we're looking at synergy of sharing projects, sharing products, assembling probably to overcome tariff more than anything else. But everything we do will have a business case to it, and we're assembling one model of the Land Rover today. We may do more or some sedan products of Jaguar.
right, so the XF is a logical assumption.
Except maybe if that makes sense. And maybe one day the new Defender might be also assembled in India to serve markets around Asian markets and African markets. So everything will have such in the issue of common platforms, the issue of a joint engine project in India are all things that we're looking at.
Right. And Mr. Tata, as chairman of group, you've been really hands-on involved with Tata Motors. This hasn't been the case before with a lot of your predecessors. Now with Mr. Mistry taking over, what do you think are the implications? Because you've had a passion for cars. So how do you think? What sort of implications do you think it has on the car business?
And I personally don't think it has too much of an implication in the sense that I think there's enough depth in the company to continue. The important issue is that there should be a passion for the car industry and car segment and for its design, and there needs to be a given person who has that passion, and that needs to be encouraged. Whatever I can do after I leave to help or to continue to be involved is something that I've already mentioned, that whoever succeeds me, that it would be available to them. But it's for them to ask.
Right. And lastly, you'll have a lot of, I would imagine you would have a lot more time on your hands after December. What sort of activities are you going to pursue? I know you like technology and engineering and of course cars as well.
I'll just keep involved with my ties with technology, both here and overseas. And I'm not making too many plans. I used to do that. I think I'm going to let it more settle in as it happens. So I'll do one day at a time as we go forward.
Right. Thank you very much.
Not at all. Bye.